My wife left me because I was too boring. Now her new man works for me. Let me take you back about 5 years. I was 29, married for 6 years to someone I genuinely believed was my soulmate. Lisa. We met in college. I was the quiet guy, nerdy, awkward around women, completely obsessed with clean code, open source software, and deep dish pizza. She was the wild one. The girl with purple streaks in her hair, loud opinions, and an art portfolio that took up half our dorm room wall. She had this energy, this whirlwind chaos around her that somehow made me feel alive. She said I grounded her, that I brought balance to her life. And I believed it, for years. But you know what happens when you're too stable? Too grounded? Eventually, that becomes boring. Dependable becomes predictable. And she started saying those exact words. I feel stuck, she told me one night over dinner. Like I'm living the same day over and over. I didn't argue, I just nodded. I'd heard this coming for months. The distant looks, the way she stayed out later, the photography gigs that always ended at rooftop bars. At the time, I was working as a senior software engineer at a mid-sized firm. It wasn't flashy, but I liked it. Steady hours, great health insurance. We had a condo, 2 cats, and a joint Spotify playlist. Then came Jake. She met him at some mixer. That's what she said, a networking event for creatives. I later learned it was a beach bonfire where half the people were high and the other half were influencers trying to collab. Jake was a venture capitalist, she told me. Tall, wore those thin turtlenecks and drove a leased BMW. Loved quoting Elon Musk and talking about how 9 to 5 is modern slavery. 3 weeks later, I came home to find her suitcase packed. We need to talk, she said. You're a great guy, but I need more. I need someone ambitious, someone who's willing to take risks. She didn't even cry. I didn't argue. I packed a bag and left. Quietly, with dignity. But inside, I was wrecked. I moved into a furnished studio across town. No sunlight, paper-thin walls. The guy above me played EDM at 2 a.m. Every single night. I drank too much, ate too little. My work suffered. My code got sloppy. I stared at screens for hours doing nothing. But then I opened up a folder I hadn't touched in months. Loop Time. It was an idea I'd had during the pandemic. A productivity app for freelancers. Nothing groundbreaking, but I envisioned it as clean, minimal, and distraction-free. I'd half built it, then shelved it. But now, I had nothing but time and pain. So I coded. For hours, days, nights blurred into mornings. I poured every ounce of frustration, anger, and heartbreak into building the perfect workflow app. Something elegant, something real. 6 months later, Loop Time was live. I posted it on Reddit, Product Hunt, and a few small YouTube productivity forums. Crickets. At first. Then one day, a creator with 200k subscribers featured it in a Top 5 Tools for Digital Minimalists video. My downloads jumped overnight, and then, another YouTuber picked it up. Then a TikTok productivity guy. Then a Notion community newsletter. By the end of year 1, I had 80,000 users. And I was getting emails. Real ones. Hey, this changed the way I work. Finally an app that respects my time. Just wanted to say thank you. Those messages hit different, like actual validation that I wasn't just the boring guy who played it safe. Year 2, I hired my first team member, a designer named Priya from Toronto. Then a backend dev, then a support specialist. We went remote, set up Slack, and ran lean. Loop Time passed 250k users by the end of year 2. We didn't raise a single dollar. Bootstrapped the whole way, and then came the email that changed everything. From Lisa, just a one-liner. Hey, hope you're well. I saw Loop Time. You built this? No punctuation. Classic Lisa. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened a bottle of root beer and watched as my dashboard showed 18,932 daily active users. But karma wasn't done yet. About 3.5 years in, we decided to expand our influencer outreach. My head of marketing sent over a few CVs. One of them caught my eye immediately. Jake L. No freaking way. It was him. Beard scruffier. Resume full of buzzwords. Claimed to have managed multiple creator brand pipelines. Basically, he ran a few Instagram campaigns for protein powder brands. Apparently, he didn't recognize my name. Or he didn't expect me to be here. I approved the interview. Why? Because fate handed me the microphone, and I wasn't about to drop it. The interview was gold. He was charming, overconfident, full of recycled hustle culture quotes. I believe in disruptive brand synergy. Loop time is the future of optimized workflows, and I'm all in. I played along. I smiled, nodded, took notes like a good little founder. And I hired him. Jake joined as our outreach lead. He tried to buddy up to me on day one. Man, love the vision here. Can totally see where you're taking this. Would be great to grab a drink sometime, CEO to CMO, you know? I just smiled. Let's keep things professional, Jake. He was confused, but shrugged it off. Over the next 3 months, the cracks showed fast. He was always late to meetings. Pushed vanity metrics. Missed key deliverables. The team noticed. Slack DMs started piling up. Is Jake supposed to lead this? He promised a collab that never happened. Honestly, he doesn't do much. I documented everything. Not because I wanted revenge. Because I wanted justice. And then he sent me that message. Small world. Just found out you used to be married to Lisa. Tears of joy, no hard feelings, right? No punctuation, no apology. That Friday, I initiated our quarterly performance audit. Each department lead would be evaluated on 3 things: deliverables met, communication efficiency, and team feedback. Jake tanked all 3. I scheduled a Zoom. Hey Jake, thanks for hopping on. Let's cut to the chase. He looked nervous. First time I'd seen him not grinning. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but your performance hasn't aligned with the team's goals. He fidgeted. I mean, some of the metrics are subjective. They're not. I showed him the numbers. The missed deadlines, the emails, the wasted budgets. He leaned in. Listen, Lisa's going through a rough time. I've had to juggle a lot. Things at home are complicated. I held up a hand. You told her I was boring. That I lacked ambition. But boring built this. He stared at me, frozen. I clicked, end call. Peace, not pettiness. A few weeks later, Lisa messaged me again. I didn't know. You look happy. I hope you're doing well. I stared at it for a long time. I considered writing back, telling her everything. How I coded through heartbreak. How loop time became a lifeline. How I learned to be okay alone. But I didn't. I closed the tab, because sometimes, silence is the most powerful answer. And I had a launch to prepare for. Loop time 3.0 was dropping next week. And this time, I was boring, on purpose.